Welcome to episode number 293 of the Keep Up Podcast.
Where the police are still looking for us for the crime we committed in 2007.
Ain't it the truth, Tim?
Ain't it the truth? And if you're not committing crimes, you're not having a good time. And that's what this podcast is all about.
Did we check the audio?
What do you mean?
Nothing, you're screaming, that's all.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's been 100 years.
It has been 100 years since we've been together.
Has it?
No,
Oh,
2
okay.
weeks.
Sometimes I forget.
It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks.
I mean, we've seen each other.
We've seen each other. It's
Right.
been 2 weeks since we recorded.
Right.
And you know what? That's just that's how the cookie goes sometimes.
That's it. That's just how the cookie goes, he says.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Yo, who sings that?
Is that a song?
I don't know.
Yeah, right?
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
That's funny. I was going to go, Papa was a Rolling Stone. But that's sitting on the edge of sitting on the dock, sitting on the...
Toilet? Sitting on the toilet. I don't know where we were going with that.
I don't know. Why is yours still so loud?
Am I loud?
Yeah, you're just screaming.
You know, that's what I need to do is when we test the mic, like, get as loud as I am.
Whenever we test the mic, Tim's like, yeah, I guess it sounds
Yeah, I'm
okay.
just
And then
like-
as soon as we start, he's like, hey, it's always welcome to Tim!
Once the camera's on, so am I.
Yeah, I'm sorry about screaming just then. I didn't give you guys any
Yeah, look
heads
at
up.
that.
Yeah.
You were the peking dumpling.
Peking dumpling. Delicious. Speaking of delicious, welcome to the Keep Up Podcast, where I'm Brett and Tim is Tim.
That's me.
And we talk about things we consume, be it media or food. You really never know what you're going to get. It could be anything.
It could be even media about food.
That's true. It could be food about media.
What?
Like the Sonic pancakes.
Ah.
Which were, I mean, debatably so.
Yeah, those were like the most lackluster. They
Yeah.
weren't bad, but like there was nothing Sonic about them.
Listen, there's a whole YouTube video on the YouTubes if you want to watch it on the YouTubes.
Is there a link for me to touch?
No, I don't know. I was just pointing at the
Just
camera.
big stretch.
I'm not adding
Dude,
a
don't
link.
show your armpits.
Oh, yeah.
for
Sorry.
free.
Sorry, I'm showing so much arms.
Oh, my God.
I just got out of work and
He's just sweat lord.
I got poured on today, dude.
Was it raining?
At some point.
Wherever you were.
Yeah, and then
It was supposed to rain today, but I didn't see much. of
yeah, I
anything.
guess I got all of it.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was a lot, dude. I was very moist.
How are well, it's probably refreshing because it's so hot out.
It can be nice for a second, but then I was drenched. Like my socks are still wet right now.
Dude, you didn't bring extra socks?
No.
You didn't find extra socks?
Probably, but I don't know.
So you've been doing this for a while in the summer.
Yeah,
Do you feel like you enjoy doing your job more in the summer or winter?
summer.
Because you didn't really get to experience winter yet, right?
No, I did a little bit when I
little
came
bit,
back.
yeah.
And winter's a nightmare because it's just any snow falls and it's a complete disaster.
It's okay.
Because they, for context for anyone who doesn't know, I collect clothing donations from donation bins. And in the summer, like, it's hot, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
And in the winter, like, plow into, like, the bins.
Right, because they're like, who's coming to do this?
yeah, and then I have to
worry,
shovel
yeah.
it out, and it's just, like, it's such a headache.
So you're like shoveling things
Yeah.
on top of emptying things.
Yeah, so what happens is it's less donations, so that's less physically taxing, but all your energy goes to shoveling out bins. And sometimes you shovel it out and you open it and there's like a bag in there. You're like, dude, come on. But they need to be shoveled out so people can get there anyways. But
True.
Yeah, so I'll take
Right.
the summer. Plus, it helps you get fit.
So thick.
No, I said fit.
I know.
Oh, okay.
But you could also get thick.
That's true.
You know, speaking of getting thick,
Okay.
get ready for this transition.
I'm ready.
I saw that you have stuck to your plan
Yeah.
of making certain content related around your shirts, and I think they've been doing pretty well.
I hate the transition. Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
That's fine.
Is the process like, does it take a lot of time for you to like make the videos and film it all and
No,
stuff?
I think
or-
that's the only reason I've been able to like do it is I literally just film myself and then I do a voiceover later when I have like 5 minutes. Like I don't need long.
I love the post voiceover tactic Because
Yeah, I like that too.
It doesn't put a lot of pressure on the initial video that you're making.
No.
And then after the fact, you can just like talk over it. You can commentate on it. I think it's a perfect, social media move.
Yeah, I love it. And there's something about it that's like kind of pleasing to watch. Like I like watching videos that have voiceovers. In fact, the videos have gotten less taxing because I made like 4 or 5, and then Rach was like, I really like this one, and it was like the third one I'd done, and it was so short and simple. Like I literally didn't do any cuts. It's just a 30-second shot of me, and then I talked over it. And because I didn't shoot it for as long as I expected to, I had to fit way more in less time, so I was talking so fast.
Yeah.
But Rach was like, that actually made it really funny. So now that's pretty much what I'm doing is just like super short videos. And
I wonder if there's any benefit to making them longer or shorter.
I don't know. I tried one longer one to kind of explain what the idea was, which I'll tell you guys. The idea is basically I have an insane amount of shirts, just like a stupid collection of T-shirts from like, I don't know, just from like going to shows and buying merch at like PAX, buying merch from like small companies that do limited runs of things. And then my job is thrifting adjacent. So I find a bunch of cool shirts all the time. And some of them I can't wear because I used to wear a large when I lost a bunch of weight, and then I gained a bunch of weight back, so I can't fit in those anymore. And it bums me out because a lot of those shirts I absolutely love. I actually have shirts I bought that I've never even gotten to wear because they just never fit comfortably.
They were like goal shirts almost.
Yeah, exactly. Or shirts that I bought, because another thing I'll do is there's groups online that will sell like on Facebook, there will be groups that sell old merch that you could only get like on a certain tour or whatever.
Yeah.
But I swear, like, sizes used to be a little bit different. So I would buy a size that I think would fit me.
They're different nowadays?
I think so, yeah. I think, well, like I can say so styles of T-shirts would change. So like back in my scene days, earlier scene days, everything would be more fitted. So if you bought a large then, it was just made to be a fitted shirt.
Yeah.
And whereas now it depends. Like sizes change depending on brand and all that stuff. But the style of shirt then, almost all band shirts were made to be like super fitted.
Yeah.
I remember even buying like a medium, and I was never really a medium.
But it somehow worked.
I squeezed into it and was like, this is the look. But the idea was I'm going to wear a different shirt every day in descending size order.
I'm glad you're changing your shirts.
Yes.
Not wearing the same shirt every day.
No,
right?
that was a big part of it.
Yeah.
Is like, what if I don't just wear the same shirt every day?
What if I actually change?
What's weird is like I definitely don't. Like obviously No, I guess what I'll say is it's weird how often I repeat certain shirts because I have just a ridiculous amount.
Oh yeah, I mean knowing how your clothes are set up in your room and everything, it's just everywhere.
Yeah, and I think
millions.
Like today is day 9, and I haven't even gone through like. I haven't even actually gotten to a drawer yet. It's stuff that is outside of my drawer.
There are for me there are definitely some shirts that I gravitate towards more than others because they're comfortable, because there are some shirts that I can't remember if they're like comfortable, if they fit well, or so I'm like, well, I'll stick with tried and true, my favorites.
Yeah, of course.
And there's some that I just like the look of more than others. So yeah, I definitely have some shirts that are abandoned. So I totally understand. Not even getting to your drawers yet, or repeating the same clothes.
So this forces me out of that comfort zone.
You'll freeze some of your clothes.
I have to, and then maybe I'll find some stuff I want to get rid of. I don't know, but so the idea is I only have however many shirts in the current size run until I have to lose enough weight to get to the next one.
And what if you don't?
I have to walk around looking like a doofus in shirts that are too small.
Without a shirt. Be like, well, I can't fit into the next size.
Just go out with no shirts. It's funny because I have probably. I don't think it'll be a huge jump to get into XLs, but right now I'm wearing I have a bunch of stuff that I wear oversized, so it's like 2X and up. The highest I have is like a 4X. And
so you're starting at 2X, working your way to 4X.
No, just anything 2X and up is okay.
Okay.
And then I'm setting them aside as I wear them.
Yeah, where do you put those? You have like just
I'm just kind of cycling that. Like I took a pile and set it out, and I was like, all right, I'm going to wear this pile, and then I'll replace the shirts. I don't know. It's complicated.
Because what if you get to a shirt like 150 and you're like, I don't remember if I wore this one or not?
I know where all my shirts are.
But what if? Like,
so all right, here's a picture. It's those stupid puzzles that you move the thing around.
Yes.
What are those? Slide puzzles?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. Those things are the worst.
They suck.
They're kind of fun.
No.
Don't
go back.
Think of my shirt placements like that, and I removed one, so there's one empty slot.
So, but then I assume, wash that shirt at some point.
Never.
Okay, so
yeah, no, I'm washing them.
And then where are you putting them once they're washed?
I'm starting a pile where they were. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. So you don't.
This is not interesting.
It is to me. Well,
imagine I have 7 piles of shirts.
Okay, one for every day of the week.
Yeah.
And then you take this shirt.
Yeah, I wear a pile of shirts every day of the week.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out your organization because, first of all, I don't put my shirts in piles.
Oh, yeah, I do.
I hang them up.
Oh, I wish I had the luxury.
You got it. I know you got a closet.
Yeah, it's full of long sleeves, though.
Oh, I see.
Long sleeves and hoodies.
Are those included, or are you only doing T-shirts?
So those are included, but what's funny is this, in theory, will go on long enough that it'll get cold out.
And then you'll be able to switch.
I'll be like, no, I got to switch over to my long sleeves.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, the long term of this.
Yeah.
Again, if you're 100 shirts in, where is that original shirt, the first one you wore, still going to be?
Tissues?
I don't, actually.
I got
dying. Nothing. Oh, sniffles.
Right, I'm just going to wipe my face on my shirt.
I could find some tissues.
No, don't worry about it.
We can pause.
Nope.
Oh, Oh, God. Sorry, guys.
All good.
Boogie Brett.
No, I'm good, dude.
So, yeah, the first shirt. 100 shirts from now.
Yeah.
Where is that shirt going to be?
In the empty spot that
so you're
no
leaving it there
empty.
for 100 days? 100 plus days?
Yeah, some of my shirts have probably been where they are.
That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to the bottom of what happens to all these old shirts. Because even if you wash it, you're just going to throw it where it was.
It goes back, yeah.
It goes back where?
To the empty spot.
Where are these piles? Because you said you're not in a drawer yet. Are they just like on your bed?
Yeah, no, there's one pile that I keep in my closet.
On the floor?
No, I have like this little shelf thing. It's mostly for shoes.
Yeah.
But I ran out of room, so I had to move the shoes off the top and put shirts up there.
Okay, so you have 7 piles of shirts lined up.
I mean, technically, I have... I have like 12. I have 4. Yeah, all right, let's go with the 7.
Okay.
Let's imagine 7 piles of shirts.
Right. You grab... So the first pile has how many shirts?
We're going to do that? Who cares?
Well, I'm just saying, are you going to put the shirt with the pile? How do you organize this?
I'm just saying, I don't actually. I'm trying to explain to you.
Oh, what do you actually do? That's what I want to know.
I tried to explain it to you. You didn't understand it.
You told me it was a slide puzzle.
That's what I'm trying to explain. All right. So I have 6 drawers.
Oh, they're drawers.
But then I have an extra pile.
Where's the pile?
Typically in my closet.
Where?
Just on a shelf.
Okay. So there's... What are the drawers?
So those are... what do you mean, what are the drawers? They're in a bureau, but they're full. So I have a separate pile of shirts.
So you have too many shirts.
Correct.
So you had to have a pile.
Yes.
You're going through the pile now.
You thought I just had room in the drawers, but had a special pile?
Well, I thought you took clothes out for this challenge.
No.
And you're like, okay, I'm going to... Well, that's what I'm trying to get to is where do these shirts end up after you wear them?
I did technically.
Right.
Okay. Let me explain to you the whole process.
I can't wait for this to be an hour of the podcast.
It's already been way too long.
Oh.
So I have regularly 6 drawers.
Okay. Full of shirts.
Technically 8. But the 2 in the middle are like, don't worry about it. So 6 drawers.
What's wrong with those drawers?
The 2 in the middle are cut off shirts and sleeveless. But those technically count too.
I don't even want to get this deep, but you have sleeveless, cut off shirts, long sleeve, T-shirts.
Yeah.
And they have different categories for...
Yeah, I actually have them organized by band shirts, novelty.
Dude, this is a sickness.
And then I have like 2 piles of animal shirts, like random animal shirts.
And the worst animal shirts you've ever seen.
They're so bad. Did you see the one I found the other day?
What was it? It was...
horses.
Horses, yeah.
Bro,
dude, it's beautiful.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
So I took the pile out of my closet.
Yes.
And I started wearing shirts out of like... out of that pile,
yes,
and a couple like in my laundry or whatever. Okay. And then...
So that pile is going to go back in the closet when you're done. And then you're going to start going through the drawers.
And then I'll take a pile out of the
drawer. So that
drawer.
pile is just a free pile. Anytime you get shirts, it's just going in there.
For now, yeah.
For now, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't figure. I couldn't wrap my head around.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Where you couldn't figure it out.
I'm just saying people don't just have piles of shirts. What are you looking for?
A pile of shirt that I could point at.
It's your pile of shirts over there.
That's one shirt.
It's a pile of shirts.
You have a pile of hoodies on your door.
That's true. I can't deny that.
This is not interesting.
You know what is interesting?
What?
Where we're going next.
Which is what?
Movies.
All right.
Ooh, let's go to the movies.
Dude, I shot a music video.
Oh. Why didn't we go to music videos? Where's that part of the keep up?
Imagine we could do that.
Music videos?
What are we in?
we could have stayed in the intro.
No,
how'd the music video go?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Actually, it was chaos.
It looks cool.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. Sorry.
What was that?
It's a British commercial.
It's gonna be great.
I've been taught that is the Frosted Flakes theme.
No.
In the UK. So instead of how it is in the US, it's gonna see. I'm gonna mess it up. They're great, is what they are in the US.
Yeah. But you got to hold the R a little longer.
They're great. Yeah, Tony the Tiger. They have Franklin the Tiger. I don't know who it is. Probably Tony still. But yeah, the commercial is like, they're gonna be great. And that's
What? Really?
Yeah. I guess they have a bunch of different mascots with different names.
Great.
It's like a little kid running around.
That jingle sucks.
They're gonna be great. They're gonna be great. That's what it is.
Why do you sound like that?
That's the commercial. It's from the 90s.
Do it again.
They're gonna be great. They're gonna be great. Watch, it's gonna be so different. It's gonna be like, they're gonna be great. I just have a twisted version in my head.
It's Frosted Flakes, right?
I think they're called Frosties.
Frosties? Oh, they are. I saw
Frosties.
Yeah, I saw an episode of Beard Meets Food today where they
were having cereal.
Yeah.
And they were Frosties.
Yeah, they called them Frosties.
Yeah, I think it was pretty sure it was for Frosties, and it was like just a commercial of this like kid going through a bunch of different like rooms, and
I'm never gonna find it.
Yeah, I can show it to you later.
Oh wow, that's hilarious. They're gonna be great.
They're gonna be great.
I really like that. I really like it.
It would be fun to see what other jingles exist around the world.
Yeah,
for things that we love.
Can we do that on YouTube?
Yes. Yeah, we don't have to do it right now.
All right.
But since we're in movies, Brett, I watched so many movies, it's kind of ridiculous.
You did?
Let me start with a movie that I should have watched back in like 2014, 2015.
Rise of the Lycans.
I watched that and we talked about it already.
I know.
But I'm catching up. I'm working my way. I'm keeping up.
It's the name of the game, baby.
That's the name.
It's the name of the game.
And I watched a movie.
Tim watched a movie.
Called It Follows.
My guy.
I have never seen it before.
You've never seen it?
All I know is the soundtrack to a T because of that video we made.
Yeah.
And I can't listen to that soundtrack without thinking, want some cheese? So it happened in the movie, and it was like, dun, 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 and I was like, stop the cheese!
Stop the cheese!
So the soundtrack's ruined for me.
No, it's so good.
That video. It's a great soundtrack. It's really cool, but it is, yeah, it's the association with the video will always ruin it for me.
Oh, remember Break Time?
I do. Let's do one right now.
We can't. How would that work?
He thought about it though. He almost did it.
Yeah.
But we'll find a way.
It's gonna be great.
Great. So, when was the last time you've seen It Follows?
I think when it came out. I've only seen it the once.
Yeah. And what did you think of it?
I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I didn't love it because I hate the ending. Not the ending, but the final act.
Really?
The pool specifically. Because I thought it was super stupid.
Was it stupid?
Because I can't, for spoiler reasons, I won't say, but they have an idea, a plan.
Yep.
And they try to do it, and it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And then it does work, but then doesn't, and it doesn't make any sense.
It's been too long for me to defend it.
Yeah. It's something that if you've seen it, maybe it's just me, but I was like, what were they trying to do?
I do remember there being something that was kind of like,
yeah. Because the ultimate way it like concludes is just like dumb. Like you're like, okay, what was the whole plan for?
Is it dumb?
I think it. Well, the ending of the movie's cool. Like the final scene.
I remember that being cool.
That was cool. But the way a resolution comes to, if you will, was not as satisfying or made sense.
Whack.
Kind of whack. But I will say the rest of the movie is solid. It's creepy. I like the idea of this creature. If you don't know what It Follows is.
Yeah, what is it?
It's a horror movie, indie film, in which there is this entity of sorts that is just constantly walking towards whoever the subject is in the case.
Yeah. It's like a terrible game of tag.
It really is. Where the tagger can only walk.
Yep.
And it could take any form.
Yes.
Any human form. I don't think it took anything else.
No, I don't think so.
So anything human, it could be someone you're familiar with. It could be a completely random person you have no idea. But it's always just walking towards you.
Yeah.
And if it gets you, it gets you.
Yeah.
So the concept is pretty cool.
Very cool. I really liked that a lot. I liked the whole, like, it could be anybody. That's always a tense thing, you know?
And it's used really cleverly for a lot of just, like, great shots.
Literally just shots of people walking made terrifying.
Yes.
Or there are a couple of times where you're like, is it?
Yeah.
And there's one scene in particular that I remember feeling like, this is a weird shot. And I feel like they're trying to make me think that person is it.
That happens, I think, a couple times.
But there was one where it did end up being the creature. And I loved it so much because the shot was so obvious.
Yep.
That I was like, there's no way. That's that's just someone walking over. And then it wasn't just someone walking over. And I was like, that's awesome. Because like, I feel like it really struck me as though I were there.
Yes.
I would be, because you're just seeing it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, there's nothing like sneaky about the shot. It's just like, hey, look at this person in the background. That's the thing.
They're slowly walking towards them. And that's what's intense for the audience. Like, it's a treat for the audience because we get 100%. To watch, like, this person get closer and closer to, you know, our main character. We're like, just run or turn around. And so it makes it a way more enjoyable experience as a viewer.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Because it was done in such a clever way. There are some pretty wild shots. Like, there's some where, like, a camera's spinning around and you keep getting glimpses of, like, the creature walking closer and closer as they're doing, like, something mundane. Not the creature, but our main character. And, so it was just, like, it was great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
Totally a keeper. The scares were... I don't think it was particularly like jump scary or anything like that.
No,
but
a lot of tension.
Yeah, a lot of tension. You'll be on the edge of your seat for most of the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just that final act, the final part before the true ending, that I was kind of like,
I do remember considering that, feeling a little bit like I almost had to think about why it made sense. If that makes sense, like, because I was enjoying the movie so much, and I think I remember a turn where I was like, I don't know if that makes sense to do.
I feel like they just could have done, I don't know, something cooler or more interesting, or I guess just made more sense.
Yeah.
But it doesn't ruin the movie. It was just something that caught my attention. I was like, the rest of this was great, but this one part is like making me knock it down like a point or two.
Sure.
Probably only a point.
Yeah, not 2.
Yeah,
dude.
2 is pretty excessive.
Don't be reckless with your point knocking down.
No. But still, totally a keeper.
Yeah. I will have to revisit it soon anyways, because 2's coming out soon.
Yeah, I think next year.
That's soon enough.
But they don't even have a trailer or anything yet. Like, you check it out on IMDb, there's nothing.
But
like,
it's happening.
They're like, it exists.
Whatever, dude.
Whatever.
All right, fine. I won't watch it again soon.
Well, no, go watch it again.
No, I don't want to.
It's on Hulu. Hulu.
Dude, speaking of Hulu, I got to start watching Shogun.
Oh, me too.
You haven't started it? Let's start it right now.
I've been watching so many other shows.
Really?
Yeah. I finished X-Men 97.
Yeah, you were excited about that.
I'm going to wait for you to finish before I talk about it.
Yeah, you should.
And then I watched Demon Slayer, the new season of Demon Slayer.
Good stuff.
So good. It's all just hype for the finale because now they're down to the last arc. But they're splitting it up into 3 movies.
Oh my gosh.
Which is terrible.
I was just going to say they're going to Attack on Titan you.
Which is kind of crazy because I think they're doing a movie a year. So it won't be done for another 3 years. Dude. Potentially. They could very well, have a movie come out at the beginning of next year, the end of next year, and then the last one the following year.
They do one per year. That means it won't be done until 2028.
It's 24, 5, 6, 7.
That's why I said booty trap.
That's what he said. But now I had to live for another 3 years, Brett. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it is a lot of pressure. That
sounds sad. I want to live another 3 years. Right. And you know why I want to live another 3 years?
Why?
Because I need to catch the next Underworld. Because I also watched Underworld Part 4 and 5, Awakening and Blood Wars.
Yes. Yeah.
They tried. I don't know who tried, though. Someone tried.
Someone tried. They got Kate back for both of them.
They did.
I remember feeling like Awakening felt pretty weak, and Blood Wars was actually intriguing.
Blood Wars is weird because it's almost like a soft reboot. Like they go back to what the original movie was like with like a vampire coven.
Right.
I mean, of course, there's more... what you call it? There's more intrigue, I guess, and there's obviously you have 4 other movies worth of history, so it's not a soft reboot in the sense of like they're not redoing everything, but it's kind of like they were trying to do something new in Awakening. They were trying to, and then they like washed their hands of it, and then Blood Wars was like, well, everything that happened in that movie didn't really matter. Now this matters, and I'm like, so what am I here for at this point? The action's still pretty cool. You know, they start leaning more into the CG and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's some pretty cool action sequences that I would be foolish not to say were pretty cool.
Yeah, you're a fool.
I know, I'm a fool. But you can definitely tell they're going down in quality. You can definitely smell the corporate greed on it.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because...
It is.
You know, as much as I feel like the conclusion to Evolution, I definitely could have gotten more.
Yeah.
And then when we did get more, I was like, maybe I didn't want more.
Yeah.
Because you get Rise of the Lycans after, which is like a cool prequel.
It is.
But then, Awakening is just kind of like, that's a soft reboot in itself. It's like, okay, now we're 10 years in the future, and there's new characters at play, and characters who are long since gone. Who don't return ever. And so there's just a lot of things. If you're watching the series all at once, you're like, this took such a weird turn.
Yeah, it does. And it's what's weird about it is they're trying to expand the world. Yeah. And it makes it feel, I don't know. I don't even know how to say it. Like, it just feels so cheap somehow.
Yeah.
Like... And if you're going to expand a world in a movie, it should feel, I don't know, it should feel big and like exciting. And it was just like, oh, they're trying some stuff. I don't know.
And it's definitely during that era where like there was a lot of weird sequels and like the 2012, 2015.
Yes, it reminds me of the Resident Evil run. Like I feel like they were right alongside each other with just doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, but Resident Evil was on like 7 at that point. 7 or 8 or whatever, you know, the movies. I don't even know how many there were. 6 maybe? Maybe there was only 6. I thought there was like 7.
There might have been 7.
The final chapter or something was the last one.
Yeah. There's Resident Evil.
Yep.
Apocalypse.
Yep.
Retribution? What's the one with they're in the desert? Resuscitation?
Degeneration? No, that's one of the animated one. What are they all called?
There's one, I'm almost positive there's one called Retribution.
Yep. There's definitely Apocalypse.
That's 2.
That's 2, right.
I already said that one. There is one called The Last Chapter.
Desolation? Okay, I gotta look it up.
Yeah.
Because then you have like Underworld.
Resident Evil
like
Incubation.
Resident Evil. Dude, this is... I can't believe they have so many weird names. Extinction.
Extinction.
And then Afterlife. And Retribution.
So that's 6, right?
So there's, Apocalypse is 2, Extinction 3, Afterlife 4, 5 is Retribution, and 6. So there's only 6, and the final chapter is 6.
Oh, okay.
Crazy they had 6 of those movies.
6 movies, dude. Well, Underworld's only one behind.
Yeah.
And they'll be there soon.
I hope so.
In theory.
As much as I am dogging on these other 2, I am curious to see.
Yeah.
I hope it's the last one.
Yeah.
Because, I feel like it's time to move on, but I do want to see where it concludes.
So where do you put, do you recommend watching those 2 or what? I feel like you got to know that if you enjoy Underworld, Evolution, and Rise of the Lycans,
yeah,
you've seen the best of it.
Yes.
It's important that you know that.
There is... The only reason to continue is if you're really invested in Kate Beckinsale and Celine and that story.
Yeah.
But, you know, they just go in so many weird places that it's a hard watch because you want more of what made the original trilogy great.
Right.
And it kind of like tries to retread that ground, but it also is held back by whoever, like the directors, the writers. I don't know what happened in the process, but they were just trying some crazy stuff and most of it didn't land. But they're not offensive. I actually enjoyed Awakening more than I did Blood Wars.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like it was I liked the story. I guess it was more like contained, where Blood Wars was like all over the place, which is still cool.
Yeah.
But Blood Wars takes you to like a weird like vampire location that it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I'll explain it to you when you're older.
When I'm older.
I liked what they did with Celine in that.
Right. Well,
I thought that was pretty cool.
It almost feels like Dragon Ball Z because it
does a little bit.
Yeah,
it
movie
definitely
she's
does.
like, get ready for some new powers or your upgrade.
Yeah, definitely feels that way.
But like, I guess the natural evolution of where you go from. I'm freaking thinking of the Resident Evil names now. Evolution.
Yeah.
The natural evolution of evolution is even more powerful, I guess. And like where do you go from how strong she was in that movie?
Right.
And I guess they found some way, but so I would have to give them a low keeper.
Sure.
I think they are worth venturing out to watch, but just be prepared that you're not getting anything great. They're not going to be great. That's going to be the whole episode.
Gotta be great.
But I would say keepers, both of them.
Okay.
Low keepers. Keep your expectations low.
Yeah. But keep them on the list.
Yeah, keep them on the list.
It's
worth going through the whole series.
Watch all of them.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, especially if there's going to be another one, which could also be bad, but...
It could be, but I hope not.
Yeah.
If that one...
How old is Kate Beckinsale at this point?
38? No, she's got to be... Take a guess. You're always right about this.
I'm not good about ages.
You're good at ages of movies. What's the difference?
Because, I don't know. I know movies. She is 49.
I'm going to go 50...
Yeah, 49. I'll stick with it.
I'm going to go 53.
53. Okay. He's looking.
50. Oh, you were closer.
I was closer.
Damn it, Tim.
I'm sorry. What other movies has she been in, Brett?
Some for sure.
She's been that's the only movie that I can think of her being in.
Goodness gracious.
Good. I know. She's pretty.
Vacancy. Van Helsing.
Oh, Vacancy. I forgot about that.
I did
too.
Van
Helsing.
I forgot that was her. Yeah, people hated Van Helsing.
Why?
I don't know.
I think it's fun.
Wait, she voiced someone in Elder Scrolls?
Oh.
In 2014?
Dang. What? No Elder Scrolls Online?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. I was like, there was no Elder Scrolls in 2014, but online, and that's an Elder Scrolls.
You're an Elder Scrolls.
I got one more combo of movies to talk about.
Yeah, what do you got?
And then we can move on to a new place in life.
Oh.
Have you seen A Quiet Place?
Yeah.
Have you seen A Quiet Place Part 2?
No.
Have you seen A Quiet Place Day 1?
No.
Well, that's the difference between you and me, Brett.
Yeah.
I've seen them all.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I only saw the first one, and I loved it. Man, what a roller coaster. That movie is pretty intense.
It is very intense.
Yeah, and I never saw the second one. I don't know why. I just missed it.
I totally did, too. I didn't watch it until, like, literally 4 days ago.
Oh.
So,
it's fresh.
Don't feel bad. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't see it either.
Why didn't you see it?
I guess because the first one was just so, like, good on its own
that
I didn't really need more.
It's weird, but I kind of felt the same way.
Yeah.
I think there was a part of me that didn't expect it to live up to one.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure what else they were going to do. And I think the ending of one, it just made me... I don't want to say anything in case you haven't seen it, because it's great. If you have not seen A Quiet Place, it is a success.
Yes.
Like, it is... it feels fresh and new, and watching it in the theater was a crazy experience. But absolutely cannot recommend that movie enough. And something about it, it just felt like a really, really good standalone movie.
Yeah.
And when there was a second one, there was a part of me that felt like it was going to cheapen the experience.
Right, because it's like it continues the story because it is part 2.
Yeah.
So you're following the same characters and things like that. And yeah, I agree. It's the impact of the first one was, I could just, watching part 2, I was like, I'll be comparing it to the first one the whole time. And I'm like, okay, will you live up to it? And at least from what I saw, no, it doesn't. But it's still worth a watch.
Okay.
It essentially just feels like almost like a bonus chapter.
Like, interesting.
I wouldn't be the first one to say like, oh yeah, that's like a direct sequel, and it definitely is. But I feel like what happened was very minimal in the grand scheme of things.
Okay. Didn't feel like super consequential.
Yeah, it was just kind of like you followed the family again, and they were relocating after something happens at some point.
Dang.
Dang.
That's real.
But yeah, it just kind of continues the story, and I just kind of, I don't know, I'm just kind of like whatever about it.
Okay.
It was still cool. The creatures were still cool.
The creatures are so cool.
Yeah, they threw them in some pretty neat situations regarding, if you haven't seen A Quiet Place, it's basically about these mysterious creatures who are only alerted by sound. So the whole world goes quiet, and any sound, it could be a cough, it could be a fart, it could be stepping on leaves, whatever it is. So it makes for some really cool sound related intense moments.
Yeah.
And like at what point, like will characters scream if something scary happens? Will they keep themselves quiet? And so it's cool to see how the characters react in certain situations.
It's very smart.
But yeah, part 2 left me kind of just like, like cool. Like I'm glad I saw more of it. And where it ends up, I'm like, okay, I could see them doing more, but if they ended it here, it's fine.
So it's sort of what we expected.
Yeah, it pretty much lives up to what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So I would say it's a keeper just because it's cool to see where the story goes. And because they just released A Quiet Place Day 1.
Which, that's a movie?
That is a movie.
Okay.
And it is a prequel to everything because it's day 1.
Right.
It's when the events start. So you follow this woman who is in the middle of New York, and the creatures start being creatures.
Dang.
And it's intense.
Yeah.
It is very intense.
Better than 2?
Better than 2 for sure. It does take a weird, I wouldn't say a weird turn, but like it goes in a direction that it feels like a different type of movie than what the first 2 were. Like I would argue the first 2 were kind of like more horror.
Yeah.
And this one it's got horror elements.
Sure.
But it's kind of more of a like emotional drama story.
Okay.
Because there's just more, it's more complex than what you initially see from the trailer.
Is it kind of like I Am Legend, like that vibe?
I would say a little bit. There is like kind of the loneliness of walking through the quiet city, and there's other people like coming in and out of her, let's say, adventure through the city.
Oh.
And I don't know if it's comparable to I Am Legend, but I could see similar vibes.
Yeah, I was just thinking that's a movie that has like monsters and it's got like a horror vibe, but I wouldn't really call it a horror movie.
Not really.
It's got horror elements.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was pretty enjoyable.
Cool.
And my question to you, Brett,
What is it?
Do you think you would survive in this world?
No.
No. You don't think you could?
No, I just think I would probably do something stupid.
Yeah,
because when it first started, there are just habits that I wouldn't think not to do.
Yeah.
Like I would accidentally clap my hands, or like I'd be walking and just be like, you know what I mean? Something stupid like that.
That would be that.
Yeah, I think I would be dead pretty quick.
It's hard to not make noise.
Yeah.
Like any kind of noise. Like I think of just like breathing.
Yeah.
That makes a noise. Or cracking my knuckles. Or like you said, they're just habits.
Just habits.
Things. You like whistle if you're just sitting there. I feel like if you knew what triggered them, I do want to say, I don't know how anybody figures out what triggers them. In the movies, everyone just picks up on it, but it's never like, I would never think it's noise that attracts them.
They don't do that in day 1? I figured that would have been covered.
Not really. I mean, they do it in a way where it's like,
the characters you're following.
Yeah, and like noise happens and they get jumped by the creatures. So in that regard, yes, but I wouldn't think it's just noise that gets them to attack you.
Right.
Like at least from everything I've seen in the movies.
Right.
Obviously, I know, but it's just weird how like hundreds of thousands of people, especially in New York, like realize like, oh, we just need to be quiet, and you'll see like huge groups of people being silent walking around, and I just don't know like how they pick up on that, I guess.
That's interesting.
Because I don't know. I just wouldn't think that's the thing I would think triggers them. But.
No, I'd feel like everybody would be dead before they realize.
Right. Before like, anybody makes the connection.
Like the group panic.
Yeah.
Would absolutely get a bunch of people killed.
And that happens a lot, for sure. When you're in New York, the loudest city in the ever.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the loudest, but it's pretty freaking loud.
Yeah, statistically, it's the loudest.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I'd survive long in the world either.
No?
No. I think same thing. I would just like, or if I fart in my sleep, you're screwed. You're screwed sleeping, you're doomed.
That's clearly your biggest concern.
I think especially farting. Dude, if you have to fart.
What are you going to do?
You can hold it in.
That can't be healthy.
No, then you die.
It's going to be bad for you.
Yeah. I will say the last point in all this is if you can, go see these movies in the theater. Obviously, part 2 is not in the theater anymore, but the experience from watching it at home compared to being in the theater, night and day.
Yeah.
I think maybe I would have enjoyed part 2 more.
I was just going to ask
if I saw it in the theater. Yeah. Because that is a huge part of the experience. Like, it's silent a lot, but sound is such a big part of the movie.
Yeah.
You know, listening for all the big noises that happen or the creatures crawling around. Like hearing it in the theater with the surround sound system and everything.
Yeah, very
next
different.
Next level. That movie needs to be experienced that way. Where, again, I saw part 2 at home. It was just my TV.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it just doesn't hit the same. So that kind of stinks for future watchings of the movies.
Yeah.
Because unless you have a killer surround sound system, it's tough to recommend them at home. But they're great movies. It's just you're just having a dampened experience.
Yeah, I think one is like regardless of how you see it, it's very much something to keep on the list.
Yep.
But I do agree. I think there's a reason I haven't watched it since I saw it in the theater because it's like that is the experience.
Right. That is That's a way to see
What a ride.
But they're all keepers. I would say go through the whole series.
All of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of them. I thought day 1 was better than part 2, but part 1's the way to go.
Dang.
It's the best.
I support all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I watched so many movies.
Yeah, you did.
That's all I got this time, though.
Proud of you, Tim.
Thank you.
I had one, but I don't really know how to talk about it.
Oh.
So I probably won't talk about it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Video games?
Video games.
Cool.
Video games.
Whoa. That's a way to start a transition.
Yeah. Start a transition. Transition's over.
Oh, yeah. To enter off of transition.
Yeah.
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 We're at video games.
Too. We are. Yeah.
You took us here, Brett.
I did.
So please,
listen.
Share with us.
The other day,
I
had a long day out.
As one does.
And it was fun. It was a fun weekend day.
Yeah.
I think it was a beach day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went to the beach. That's what it was.
Yeah.
We went to the beach. I tell you, we went to the beach so good.
Right.
And the beach day is a long day. When you go early, we were up and out early, bro.
You're the early type.
Sometimes.
Like when you're going to do something.
Yeah, I want to go do it.
You want to be there at 5 a.m.
Let's go do it.
Stay there the whole day.
Let's move there.
Dude, you want to live the experience. I get you.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Saw her. We did that. And then on the way home, I was like, man, I've been thinking about video games a lot lately.
Yeah.
Sure would like to play some video games.
You should.
And I told the kids, I said, you know what? When I get home, I want to play something fun. Because I wanted to play video games, but I didn't want to play like, I'm in the middle of Resident Evil. I just beat Senua. What's the other one I'm playing? The Remedy one.
Quantum Break.
Mm-hmm. Too complicated. I wanted something kind of fun.
Right. Something pick up, play, have a good time.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go home and play that game on Game Pass. Little Kitty, Big City.
Oh!
Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Cool.
I always get it confused too.
Yeah. This is the second of 2 cat games that I'm aware of. I played and beat Stray, I think, last year. And Stray was fun.
Yes.
I thought Stray was really good. And similar, you play as a cat.
Right.
And it's very sci-fi.
Stray.
Stray.
Yes.
Stray is very
cyberpunk,
sci-fi.
if you will.
Yeah. So it's an interesting way to like experience this cat craze where obviously people want to just play as cats because there's also Calico.
Yes.
So I guess there are 3 cat games I'm aware of.
There's even more.
Those are the only 3.
Cat Lateral Damage.
No idea what that is.
Okay. Cat Quest 1, 2, and 3.
Wow. A trilogy.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I'm not familiar with that.
But you named some cat games, so you're good.
I did name some. Calico's fun, just chill. You know what I mean? But Stray it feels more like more intense. And there were a couple things about the game that I was like I was surprised you couldn't just jump. You need to be near something to climb onto it. The little things like that. But overall, really great game. I would say Little Kitty Big City is like if you're in the mood for a cartoon and you want to be a cat, then this is the game you play. It totally scratched the itch of, no pun intended,
scratch the post.
Just wanting to put nice, wanting to play something kind of fun.
Yep,
because it's so silly, but it's pretty fun.
It is. They made a pretty solid game around this concept of being a cat.
Yeah, you essentially wake up on a windowsill and you accidentally slide off the windowsill and you just plummet to the ground.
Like 1,000 feet.
Yeah, and now you're in a city and you don't know where you are. And you're kind of just walking around meeting other animals and things like that. It's a very harmless game. You're just running around the city learning new things like big stretch and have a little lie down. Yep. These are the moves you unlock. The conversations with the other animals I think are mostly pretty funny. It felt like something on the level of like a Madagascar with like jokes about being animals and who the animals think they are and what other people think they are. Like the tanuki.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Did you?
I don't know if they're real. That's my problem.
They are.
They are like a real thing?
They are.
Because I know there's like red pandas.
No, dude. The
tanuki, because I always thought it was like Japanese lore, like a tanuki.
No, dude. It's something to behold. Look at this thing.
Let's see. Oh, it's got the real picture. Oh, yeah. They just look like red pandas.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
They're
they
like
do.
dog raccoons.
Yeah. Dude.
But they only have them in Japan.
Yeah, we don't got them here.
They have that one. I don't know what that's about.
Dude, that one was crazy.
You guys got to Google tanuki. Tanuki.
Yeah.
It is a Japanese raccoon dog.
Just watch out for the orange picture.
What's the orange picture? Oh, yeah. Look out for that one.
Just skip it.
So, yeah, I didn't know if they were real either. And Rach was actually, I was like, Rach, you got to watch this game. So me, her, and Jazz are sitting in the living room. And I'm playing this, and then the whole thing with the tanuki happens.
Yeah.
And I keep calling it a raccoon, and Jazz had already played beyond this point, and he's like,
he played it on his own.
Yeah, he's like, just wait, you don't even know. It's funny that you're calling it a raccoon. And then the tanuki's like, everyone thinks I'm a raccoon. I'm actually a tanuki, and I'm like, a tanuki? What the heck's a tanuki? And Rach immediately Googles it, and she's like, oh, they're like raccoon dogs, and they are. I'm like, how have I gone this long being alive and not knowing what a tanuki is?
Dude, I don't know. You played games. Mario literally wears a tanuki suit.
That's a tanuki suit?
Yeah. In Mario, what, 3?
That's not a raccoon?
With the tail? Yeah, it's a tanuki suit.
That's revelational.
Your life has changed.
Did you just think it was a name for the suit?
No, I learned later in life.
Okay, wait a second. You've gone this long knowing about the tanuki and thinking it was fictional?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was like a Japanese folklore thing. Clearly it's real.
It's real.
But that little thing next to that picture you have, that's what I see all the time is like the tanuki. I mean, not with the big balls. Well, dude, tanukis have big balls? I
don't know why.
Every picture Brett pulls up, they have gigantic balls.
Okay, not all of them. But a lot of them are like sitting on...
I guess that's their yokai. Yokai, that's what I thought. It was like a creature. I didn't know it was real, though.
I mean... This is real, bro.
His balls don't look big there.
No, I don't know what the thing is with the balls.
Like we gotta figure out the history.
I'm not.
But yeah, I just always
that.
thought it was like again a Japanese lore thing, like I don't know, a unicorn or something. You know?
Maybe there's something about what's this one?
Oh,
that one's real.
That one looks like a crazy badger.
Ooh, a cryptid. That's cool. All right, so listen, there's a Tanuki in Little Kitty Big City.
Yes.
Overall, the game's fun. It's
super wholesome. There's like no enemies really. No. My favorite thing is interacting with the humans because
funny.
You can trip them, you can jump on them, you can take their phone and run away, and they'll chase you.
Yep.
Like there's just a lot of cool, fun cat things that I wish Stray had, but Stray was more serious and, like you said, sci-fi.
That's the thing. It was more serious.
Yeah.
And so it guided you more with its controls. Mm-hmm. Where this feels a little more open world. It's just like, look, you're a cat. You can do cat stuff. Go do cat stuff.
Have some fun in the sandbox adventure.
Yeah, like cat punching things is my favorite, including humans. But you literally, like, you just slap things off of ledges, and it's funny, and you find stuff. It's just little missions that you get from meeting the other animals. The only thing is, you know, it's not perfect by any means, and it's like physicality and jumping can be a little awkward from time to time. And I was just jumping up multiple platforms, and I got stuck, like spread straight out between the wall of a box, and I was just stuck there. I couldn't jump. I couldn't move at all. And I ended up restarting it. So,
which sucks because there is an option to unstick yourself.
Oh yeah, you told me. I did not know that.
The options. No, I mean it's not clear. But yeah, the game, unfortunately, I think still to this day is pretty buggy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this happened to me like yesterday.
Yeah,
so that's still happening.
Yeah. And they're aware of it, and that's why they added the unstuck button. Because when I played it, I got to the essentially the finale of the game, and I was just climbing up some boxes, and I fell like in between two boxes, and it took me to like this like weird world or whatever. But the problem with the game is it saves when you land. Like every time, like every jump you make, stuff like that. Because when you reload, it'll put you like right back in that spot where you lost or wherever you are. So if I quit the game and came back, I was still stuck in that little in between world. So after playing almost 6 hours, I got stuck, and that was the end of it.
No.
So
sucks.
Yeah, I was hoping they would update it because there was a lot of people complaining about the glitches and stuff. So I kept checking their Twitter every day, and they were like, "Finally, we released the unstuck button." And so you go to the options, click unstuck, and it just puts you back on the like where you start the game.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so because so many people are getting stuck.
That's actually a pretty good workaround to like fixing a game that's really buggy.
Oh yeah, just put the button in. A lot of games have it nowadays. Indie stuff and mostly indie stuff. I don't think any AAA games have it.
I wonder what
but
the
you also
mechanics
don't
are
get stuck
that.
in those really.
Yeah,
so.
right. Yeah.
I think it's a mod, like a dev tool.
Oh, okay.
Like you can reset the position of the character and
so they
just like unlocked
sense.
it for people. They're like, oh yeah, go ahead, do that. But yeah, it would be helpful in so many games. Remember you were stuck in that Adventure Time game?
Dude, I immediately had flashbacks when I got stuck in this game.
Yeah.
That was the worst. And then it just unstuck one time.
Yep, it was just you were free.
Mm-hmm. That was a nightmare. It was the same thing. I had hours into that game. And then I kept starting it and just like moving around buttons, like please unstick, please unstick.
That's what I was doing with Little Kitty.
Yeah,
I kept loading it up, and I was like, just maybe I can just get to because where I came in was like this little like hole in between the boxes. So I kept trying to climb up back to the hole, but I couldn't make it.
So annoying.
But otherwise, the game's really good. And if you know about the options unstuck thing now, you should be good if there's any weird glitches.
Now you know.
Since you had to restart the game, but you didn't beat it yet.
No, and I didn't restart the whole game. I just shut it down there. I actually haven't kicked it back on since, so I don't know where it'll put me. But
do you have your old save still?
Yeah.
So you could just do the unstuck.
Yeah.
In the old save.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know how far you got in the new save, but
I didn't start the game over.
Oh, I thought you said you did a new save.
I didn't do a new save.
What'd you do?
I just shut the game down.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Ah.
And then I technically haven't I said I restarted it. I haven't technically played it again.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I lied.
Now you're good.
You think it'll be fine?
As long as you click the unstuck.
What if the unstuck button gets stuck?
Then you're really screwed.
You ever think of that?
Do I have anything to talk about in games?
I don't know, dude. Do you?
I've had stuff in my list for a long time, but
Let me look at it. I'll be the judge of that.
No, you know what? I got to go to a different category. Do you have anything else to talk about in games?
That was it, man.
Okay. We got to go to books and comics.
Okay, I'm ready.
Have you read anything good lately?
Brett?
What?
I have been reading lots of stuff lately.
Yeah, you have been doing a lot of reading.
Lots of reading.
Proud of you, little guy.
I'm trying to see that pile of comics over there.
I do see that.
The one on the left is what I'm trying to read.
Okay.
The one on the right is what I have read.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
I know. I'm tackling it.
Yeah.
So recently started.
Don't say recently.
I recently started Transformers.
Oh.
By Skybound. Also Image. So I guess Skybound under Image Comics.
You know, I don't know. I think they are related in some way.
Because I keep saying it's from Skybound, but then I also noticed there's Image on the cover. So
because I thought Kirkman, like Skybound, is somehow related to The Walking Dead as well. I believe.
Right. And was Walking Dead Image?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. So they must be Skybound must be under Image or something like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
But there is a new Transformers series that started either the end of last year or the beginning of this year.
Okay.
They're on issue like 10 now or whatever. So you do the math. They come out monthly.
You do the math.
You do the math. And so I like when new like series come out because I like jumping on issue 1. So I jumped on with Transformers because I was like, oh, they're starting a new series. I'll jump on. Why not?
Skybound is Kirkman's company.
Right. That I knew. But what's the connection to Image?
It operates in concert with Image Comics.
Oh.
So it's a multi-platform entertainment company.
Right, because they do like games and they do a bunch of stuff.
So I guess it's his behind the long run. Yeah. It started with The Walking Dead basically. And then
Invincible and stuff like that.
Yeah, are they
do
involved at all with Transformers, or it's just their company?
I don't know. I just know their logo slapped on the cover of the comic.
Yeah,
so I thought it was coming from Skybound directly. But again, Image is on the cover too. So
yeah, I guess they're like
working together, maybe collaborating.
I don't know how it works.
I don't know. I got to look into it. But man, oh man,
yeah,
is this Transformers series gripping?
Really,
dude? I've been reading a lot of different comics.
Yeah.
I legit am mad I don't have the next issue.
No way.
I read through, I had up to 6. I had up to 5, and then I just got 6 and 7 today. But I read through all of them in one sitting. I was like, this is so freaking good.
Why is it so good?
I think it has the Walking Dead level of you have no idea what or if Transformers are going to live or die, if Decepticons are going to live or die. So it is, I would say it's a relaunch. It's starting the story fresh.
Sure.
And so the premise goes, you're following a human, I want to say his name's like Spike or Jake or Zach or something like that.
Sounds right.
And I guess they were the...
Spike or Jake or Zach?
I can't remember. I may have read all these comics back to back and consuming it, but I don't remember the details.
No, that's fair.
But yeah, you start off following this human guy and this human girl, and they stumble upon the Transformers, and both sides are in shambles, Decepticons and Autobots.
Oh.
And they, the humans, as they do, accidentally awaken all the bots.
One must.
But what happens is the bots are reviving sporadically because there's another Transformer who came from Cybertron. And he's like, I'm here to save everybody. So he starts reviving, but he doesn't know that some are Decepticons or Autobots. He thought they're all friends. So like Starscream comes alive first, and he starts shooting the other Autobots because they're still not being revived. And dude, I cannot tell you, they're killing off like Autobots, like people would be crying this first issue.
Dude, I'm already intrigued.
And I can't. Oh, dude, it's crazy because I'm like, they're killing him. Oh my God, he's dead. Where's this guy?
Wow.
There's a part where it's crazy. I don't even want to say it. It's a spoiler, but
all right.
I just want you to know they are crazy with what they're doing with this.
All right.
It's insane. I am so invested. And I'm not even a big Transformers guy.
Right.
Like, I enjoy it. I really like the games. I enjoyed some of the movies.
Yeah.
But I've never read the comics or watched the original show.
You never saw the original show at all?
Or the original movie.
Oh, okay.
So I gotta, like the first...
The animated movie,
yeah.
like Transformers the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, which I hear is pretty intense.
Yeah.
So I think the comic is falling in line with that because it's
I was reminded of it while you were talking about this.
Yeah.
Because that's a big thing with that movie is like... I mean, we're talking about a movie that came out like 40 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And when it came out, it was doing things that people were like, they're starting it like this?
Yeah.
Like, this is after a beloved series had been out for, I don't even know how many seasons.
Yeah, whatever.
And then they come off and like they start killing Transformers.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's pretty intense, especially back then.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. That's why I want to see the movie. But I want to watch the series to like kind of get a feel.
Honestly, so I watched that and Thundercats. There was a time, I mean, this was probably, let me think, I can actually tell you when this was. This was about 15 or 16 years ago.
Because I remember you watched Thundercats with Sim. Or after Sin was born?
That was Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, Dragon Ball Z. I thought that was Thundercats.
But it was around that same time. So they started putting out these collections of old animated shows on DVD. And I don't know if you remember, but it was like a boom of that happening. All of a sudden shows you forgot existed, like the 2003, I guess it wasn't that old at the time. Wait, what year are we? Yeah, it was old enough. Like, I think there was a 2003 He-Man that came out.
Yes.
And they put that out on DVD. They put out the Batman Beyonds, which prior to that, because we weren't, at the height of streaming services like we are now.
That's how you would watch them, is either TV, if you caught like random episodes at 2 a.m. on Toonami, or you get the DVD sets.
Exactly. So I started getting them and going through this kind of like cartoon/animation renaissance where I was like, what's the stuff? Because I was not, what am I trying to say? Transformers and Thundercats were before my time. So I didn't really watch them or anything. I played with Transformers and stuff, but Turtles, the 90s stuff was more my stuff. So I was like, I wonder how these shows actually hold up. And I remember watching season 1 of Transformers, and it was actually like pretty fun. And there's one episode in particular, I think it's called Skyfire. I've definitely talked about it on the show before. And I remember watching it and being like, I actually loved that episode so much. Like the message in it was this Transformer that had been, I think he was like unearthed after a very, very long time, and he was the biggest and strongest, so that made him super cool.
Oh, I've actually seen that episode.
You have?
Yeah.
And he didn't understand the separation between the two bots.
Right.
And so he ends up like working with the Decepticons, not really understanding what's going on. And I don't know, it was like oddly philosophical to have this guy show up, the most powerful of the race show up. Are they a race? Is that a play on words? Because they're all cars. And he shows up and is the most powerful, but isn't really concerned with like the war, but then becomes a part of it. Right. It was just really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's always so cool about Transformers is the complexity, because they are also like creatures from another planet. They're not just like robots.
Right, they're aliens.
Right, they're aliens. And
right.
Right. They have like feelings and emotions and oil and sparks, and that is again very, very present in the comics. There are some I would also recommend this as like an adult, because there are some very heavy, dark things that like I wouldn't just hand the comic to Jazz.
Well, Tim, you're an adult.
I'm an adult, but I'm saying if you're like getting it for your kids or
you wouldn't necessarily.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
because there's some dark stuff. Even though like they're just Transformers, they're doing some heavy stuff.
What is this rated? I don't want to see Transformers doing heavy stuff.
I honestly want to say it's like The Walking Dead, but Transformers.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, it's very just like deep and heavy.
Do they use oil as blood splatters?
They use blood as blood splatters.
Oh, dang.
But no, yeah, they definitely will do like dismemberments, and there's Sparky Sparks. There's moments where like Transformer's head, like Transformer's grabbed from the neck, and it's like pulled out with its spine hanging down.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
What?
It's seriously like next level. It feels like almost a fan comic, because I'm like, what am I reading here? I can't recommend it enough. It's seriously blowing me away. I'm up to issue 5 and I couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
So if the show is like that, where maybe not as extreme, but at least has like cool, like heavy episodes where certain characters die or switch sides, I think that's always the fun thing too, is like a lot of them are not just one-dimensional characters where they're all good or all bad.
Yeah.
You'll have some Transformers who switch sides midway through either movies or series or games or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's cool about the comics too, is like you're learning about other Transformers, and I was like, isn't that a good guy? But in this he's not, apparently.
Yeah, that is interesting. It's a similar thing with Turtles, which I'm thinking now. Transformers is like, it's very similar to, I imagine being a massive Transformers fan can be similar to being a Turtles fan because it's been around for so long. There's been so many iterations,
so many
movies, cartoons, like the comics now. And, well, the comics have been happening for a while.
Yeah,
but
I guess the old comics were similar. Not as violent or intense, but just like
oh yeah, they had comics like in the 80s, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow,
because I guess the main character we're following was the same main character in the original.
Yeah,
but it's a reboot, so it's like the same character just modernized.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I had a cool interaction the other day. I went to, where did I go? I was walking into a food court because your boy was hungry.
Gotta get some food.
And this guy's walking by, and he's got a shirt that just has the cover of an issue of The Incredible Hulk, like an old issue. And I don't know, just occasionally I'll take it upon myself to be like, hey, nice shirt,
nice
dude.
shirt. Yeah.
So I did that, and it was funny because he goes, so I probably nice shirted him when we're like about to pass. You know what I mean? I was like, nice shirt, man. And he goes, oh, thanks. No, how did he say it? It's significant the way he responded. He was like, oh, thanks, man. Yeah. And then I walked by him, and then I hear from behind me, I actually have the issue. And I turn around and I was like, oh, you have a copy of that? He was like, yeah, I have one. My most, what did he say? He was like, my biggest accomplishment is I have an entire run of Uncanny X-Men. And I was like, wow, you have a whole run? And he was like, yeah. And he got like all hyped and started telling me about his collection. I was like, this is the best. Yeah. He was like, my number one's not in great shape. And I was like, it's still a number one. He was like, it's still a number one. It's so funny. Dude, it was like the best conversation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. And
I love when people nerd out about stuff.
Yeah, it was funny because he wasn't, Marvel's one of those things that crossed over to the mainstream. So sometimes people wear it, I think this is, I'm not saying anything judgmental or anything, but not everyone who wears a Metallica shirt like listens to Metallica now. Same thing with like AC/DC and those bands, or this Nirvana shirt I'm wearing that you could almost definitely get at like Walmart. I like some people don't even know it's like they're bands anymore.
It's just like a style. Almost.
Yeah. And now everyone's seen the Marvel movies, so not everyone who's wearing like a Hulk shirt has like this whole collection to talk about. It was really interesting. He lit up immediately, and right before I said anything, he was just walking out with some food, like. He didn't look angry or anything, but just like kind of straight faced.
Just living life.
He's like, I have this issue. I was like, yo, that rules.
No way.
Yeah, so.
I wonder what happened to that guy who wanted you to get a movie for him.
I was just thinking about that the other day. I don't know.
He's still waiting for you, Brett.
He's just standing there on the corner, dude, waiting for me to bring it back.
What movie did he want? Do you remember?
Yes, it was American Werewolf in London.
Nice.
Yeah. I met a dude today named Hobo Jim.
That's what he goes by?
Yeah, he has a patch on his vest.
That says Hobo Jim?
Yeah.
That's super funny.
He was stoked about it. He actually had multiple Ninja Turtles patches on his vest.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, dude.
Is he a hobo?
Yeah.
Oh, he was just...
Total vagabond. He said he's been basically like living on the street since he was like 14 or something.
Ugh, I hate when they're that young.
And I know, right? But he's my age now, and he rode up on a motorcycle and just was like... He was like, you have any headphones in there? I need headphones. And I was like, nah, man, I didn't find any headphones. And then we just started talking, and he had a heck of a story, dude. He got out of prison earlier, like this year, and he told me like
2 days ago.
No, he said it hasn't even been a year yet, so I guess it could have been recent. I don't know. But I'm like, oh, how's it feel to be out? And he was like, it's good, man. It's a little like, he just told me all this stuff, and we talked for a long time, and I noticed the Turtles thing. He's like, oh yeah, I love the Turtles, and I like showed him my tattoo, and he was like, cool. It was pretty wild.
Dude, what a crazy life you live.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
You interact with so many people.
I do. That's true. That's true.
That's true.
So I want to read Transformers right away.
Yes. It is. I mean, a keeper is not justice.
Wow.
It is, I think, by far one of the best comics I've ever read.
Isn't it cool reading something like that? And like you said, you're not like a massive Transformers fan and just being like, oh, shoot, I'm a Transformers fan.
Yeah, it's like, oh, crap, now I got to do everything.
There's something very fun about that when something is not necessarily gate kept, but you step through the gate.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, I'm on the other side now.
I see it.
Like you read a certain X-Men arc or something and you're like, I'm a fan now.
I understand what everyone means.
Yes. Ask me about the Dark Phoenix. Yes.
That's all I know, though. Don't ask about anything else.
Nothing else after that, please.
But it's always so cool, too, because now I have 40 years of Transformers to go back. I could watch old cartoons. I could read the old comics.
I do think I would love for you to watch some. It looks like there were only 4 seasons. I was just looking it up.
Of the original series.
Yeah, although I don't know how many episodes they were because I'm pretty sure I had the DVD set for season 1 and it was like 4 discs.
Oh.
So it was like a lot. Or discs didn't hold as much then.
Yeah, like some DVD collections I have are like 8 discs and each disc has like 4 episodes on it.
Yeah.
Where other ones where it's like the whole series is on 2 discs.
Right.
So
I don't understand.
I don't know what changed.
98 episodes.
Ooh, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
But
it's commitment.
I'm ready.
You should just watch a couple and then watch the movie.
Yeah, just get a feel for who's alive. Maybe the last couple episodes. But I don't know, because it takes place after the series, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like a cap.
Yeah.
I cut you off. You were saying Blu-rays hold a lot of episodes.
That's it.
All right, cool. I do think it'll be a fun one for you to go back and watch episodes. Like, it holds up enough. It's not like a hard watch or anything like that.
Because some of it could be like a little cheesy.
Yeah.
Sometimes the animation doesn't like hold up as well.
The animation can be a little wonky. Turtles is like that too. Their bandanas switch colors for the first season and stuff like that. And it's like Raph's voice coming out of Donnie, and
that's funny.
That is funny.
I can see that. But like X-Men too, like the original X-Men cartoon. It was also like had some funky moments.
Yeah,
like
totally. Yeah, and I remember the only things I didn't, although I don't think Transformers really had this, which is definitely a plus for it. You know how they all those 80s cartoons had like the goofy Snarf character?
Yes.
Like Snarf drives me crazy. And it's like he's the one, like,
that's the problem with He-Man is they have the little magic fairy guy too.
Yeah.
And like, because I watched a couple episodes of that and I'm like, oh, I'm interested in like the human aspect and the stories being told. And then Snarf or Magic Larry or whoever
Johnson
shows up and they're like, oh, Power Rangers. Oh.
Hey, you don't talk about Alpha like that.
Okay, Alpha's pretty cool.
I was watching Power Rangers the other day.
You were?
I got a hankering for it. I watched the basically the Green Ranger saga again. And
because you're a shirt.
Yeah, that's totally why. Yeah. That's totally why. Oh, I got into a conversation outside of a bathroom at the beach because this other dude was wearing an X-Men shirt. I was like, nice shirt. This dude looked like he never wanted to talk to a person ever. He had glasses on. He was like, thanks. And I was like, yeah, man. And then he just like didn't say anything. And Jazz was next to me. We were waiting for Rach to come out. And then it's like quiet for a minute. And the guy's like, new movie's coming out. And I was like, What is? Because I don't know of any X-Men movie coming out.
It's Deadpool versus
Wolverine. Oh, that's right. That's right. Not what he was talking about. So I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like the Jason David Frank. And I was like, oh, because I was wearing the Power Rangers shirt.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, the dragon one? And he was like, yeah, Legend of the White Dragon. I think that's what it's called.
Is it a documentary?
No, it's like the last movie he was filming, and it's supposed to, I believe, it's still supposed to be released, at least according to the beach bathroom guy. And then we talked about suicide.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
He was like, you never know what someone's going through, which is true.
It's true
because Jason David Frank,
right.
That was the connection.
Yeah.
He wasn't just like, also.
Right. I thought he was like,
I don't know.
Thanks for saving me, buddy.
It took a quick jump. He was like, thanks for being here. Thanks for bringing up my shirt. I might have saved that guy's life.
You could have.
But yeah, he was like, and then Chris Cornell. And I was like, yeah. And Chester Bennington. He was like, yeah. And then his girlfriend came out and he was like, well, see you later, man.
Good Lord.
Right, see you, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks for that conversation.
But anyways, I watched Power Rangers and I was thinking, like, can you think of another? There's always like a 3-part saga that has to do with like an anti-hero or a hero turning. Famously, the X-Men animated series had the Dark Phoenix saga.
Yeah.
And then it's another 3-episode run in Power Rangers with Tommy. And Rita employs him as the Green Ranger.
Yeah.
Pretty good choreography. I'm just saying, it's pretty fun to watch.
He was always great, though.
Bulk and Skull are they're the Snarf of the Power Rangers.
Their music when they show up. Wah, 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 wah.
It's so funny.
It's so all over the place.
But I was trying to think. I was like, was it just those two that had that specific, like...
I know...
I bet the Spider-Man animated series had like a black spider suit arc or something.
Yeah, and usually they end up being 3 episodes because they're almost like movies, like mini movies. But yeah, off the top of my head, I can't think of any like
All right, let's move on then.
Any arcs like that? That's it. Let's move on.
I feel like you've read other comics that you want to talk about. Did you just want to talk Transformers?
I mean, we're
What time is it?
8:30.
Oh, I meant like how long have we been
going? 8:30 p.m. Okay, I'll talk about one more.
Okay.
Because we're in books and comics, and who knows when we'll be back here. Probably soon, because I got a lot more to talk about.
You got a lot to talk about?
Okay, I got to talk about TMNT versus Street Fighter.
That's the one I was going to ask you to talk about, so let's go.
So this is a 4-comic miniseries,
yep.
Which takes place in the current run of, or I guess the recently finished run of Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
So you have the main Turtles and Jennika, and the Street Fighter gang, which I don't think there was any like Street Fighter story going on at the time. Ongoing series. They're just like, and that's what I notice a lot with these, because I'm reading like a bunch of different Street Fighter crossovers right now, and it's just taking the characters from where they are like in the games essentially.
Yeah.
The most you get is like Street Fighter 6. Like that iteration of the characters, but in this case they're not, because in Street Fighter 6 they're a lot older, most of the characters.
Oh, okay.
But in this they're just like they're young.
It's just like here's your classics.
Yeah. So the premise of this is there is a tournament going on, and
of course there is.
I know, right? And so the Turtles need to get away from whatever's going on. I think it's in like issue 80 or something. It takes place.
Okay.
And they're like, check out issues 79 through 81 to see what the Turtles are running from.
I'm pretty close to that.
Yeah, something like that. So they're running away from whatever's going on, and Raphael figured out there was a tournament, and they wanted to all go fight. So the first 2 issues are just essentially battles between you got Michelangelo and Chun-Li.
Oh my gosh.
And there's a whole side arc with them. Michelangelo's in love with Chun-Li.
My guy.
It's so funny. Throughout all 4 issues, he's just trying to, just talk to her. And so that's fun to read through.
I love that.
You got Raphael versus Guile.
Oh, cool.
Leonardo versus Ryu, of course.
I actually would have thought Raph versus Ryu.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense, but I guess because Guile's hot-headed, at least this iteration
of
him.
He is, or Raph against Ken would maybe be the most obvious, because they're both really hot-headed.
I just thought I should probably ask you who you think was going up against each other. Who do you think Donnie goes up against?
So wait, who do we got so far? So Guile and Ryu.
Nope.
What? Guile and Raph.
Yeah.
Leo and Ryu.
Uh-huh.
Mikey and Chun-Li. I'm trying to think who else. Donnie. Zangief? No. Blanca?
No. It's like a basic normal character.
Those are...
You already said him.
Ken?
Yeah.
They had Donnie fight Ken?
Yeah, I guess.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, all the fights were pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and the story is... what's his name? Baxter?
Sure.
The bug
Stockman?
guy. Yeah, Stockman. Baxter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's him and M. Bison. And they're doing some shady stuff in the background. So.
Dude, the villain team ups
is so good.
You know what's funny? Every crossover, the villains team up, and the heroes are fighting each other.
And that's the first 2 issues. And because when they're out of the ring, they're still fighting each other because they don't trust each other.
Dude, and Sonic and Mega Man.
Yeah,
it's Wily and Robotnik coming together.
Why is that the crossover formula?
I don't know, dude. That's so funny.
But it's because it's what you want. You want to see them fight. Yes. But you also want to see them work together.
Right.
So it makes sense. And it's always exciting.
It is. It's great.
So yeah, it's just really fun to see them work together, and you get a lot of like different team ups and synergy.
That's cool.
So you'll get Raphael and Chun-Li; they get their own like little arc together, and then you get
I love that.
I know, right? These characters who are like, oh, they're together, and they're like, oh, they're kicking butt. So there's a lot of fun to be had.
That is cool.
M. Bison is probably the worst part of this because he's such a dork.
Why is he a dork? What do you mean?
He's just such a goofball. He's like,
what does it mean?
Like every time he's like on a page, I'm reading his whatever he's saying. I'm like, this is like a nerd who's like in an M. Bison suit. Like when there's a part where they're like all chasing after M. Bison.
Sure.
And he's like hiding on the roof, and he's like, they'll never find me up here. And then they all find him on the roof, and he's like, oh no, you found me up here.
What?
It's so, I don't know who was writing him, but he's not menacing. He gets his butt kicked all the time at different points. It's so weird.
You know, I was... That makes me think about how I have Bison in my brain as one of the most like heinous villains in history.
Menacing and like
evil.
Why?
Because he was the final boss in Street Fighter 2.
Oh yeah.
And It was a nightmare.
Oh my God.
Fighting a bison was the worst. It was probably my first taste of like a fighting game final boss.
Dude.
And I was like, I'll grow up as an old man.
Cheating bastard.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Yeah. I don't know why fighting games were like that.
I don't know either.
All the bosses were a nightmare. Yeah. But yeah, M. Bison was evil. And I mean, like, there are some comics and games where and even the movie, where he's like wants to destroy everybody.
Yeah.
Although he's definitely a goofball in the movie, but we'll talk about that next week.
He is a goofball in the movie.
Maybe M. Bison is just always a goof.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But in the comic, he's a friggin' dork. And so it made me laugh anytime he was on, like, I'm reading the page. I'm like, what is he doing here?
Does he go on any, like, monologues? Does he rant?
Some monologues.
Yeah.
He is important. I won't say he's like just there to be like comic relief.
Yeah.
Although it feels like it.
Because I picture Bison as being like the serious version of Mojo Jojo. Yeah. Like he just goes off on rants and he's like, I will find Chun-Li and crush her and make sure that her family knows that I am the greatest. Like that's literally what I imagine.
He is like that everywhere else.
He's slowly rising off the ground.
His hand, he's like, my psycho crusher.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is there's some cool elements with like him and Raph and things like that. So yeah, but as a fan of Turtles and Street Fighter, I think they did it pretty good justice to it. The art wasn't my favorite. I felt like the Street Fighter characters were a little bit ugly.
Any idea who did it?
I think it was no, actually, because Udon usually does the Street Fighter art, and I don't know, they have a bunch of different artists there, but
right, because there was a specific artist who did a couple runs of the IDW Turtles. All right, do it. And I wasn't like a huge fan of that particular run.
But for why?
It was similar. Like some characters just look kind of ugly, but because it was the mutants, like the Turtles actually looked pretty cool. Yeah. And dude, take forever.
Hold on, it's under Alien, I think.
Why is it under Alien? Is it filed under A for Street Fighter Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Dude, you just put your red stack on your unread stack.
It's okay.
Oh, interesting. Not my favorite Chun-Li, but they did get her thighs right.
Dude, nothing's more important.
They're just barrels, dude. So I actually kind of like the Turtles. The
Turtles aren't too bad in it.
Okay, there is a short run of comics, I think Image did a run of Turtles comics.
Are at the bottom, but I don't know if that helps you at all.
No, I don't know them. This art is different, too.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever read the Turtles and Batman crossover?
No, that's on my list.
It is so good.
Is it? Because they had the animated movie, too, right?
Yeah, which I still haven't seen, oddly enough.
So I'm in the mood to read all the Turtles crossovers. I want to read the Stranger Things.
I know, I got to read that, too.
They have a Godzilla one, I think?
No, Turtles and Godzilla?
Maybe not.
Shut your stupid idiot face. They do have, I'm pretty sure they have a Transformers Godzilla. I don't know.
And they have a Power Rangers and Godzilla.
Oh, yeah, they do. I have that.
Yeah. So, and there's Power Rangers and Turtles.
And yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
That is so good.
See, that's what I got it. But the problem is...
What's the problem, Tim?
That was the only other thing I have to say about this is there are... I don't know if it's spoilers, but there are elements of whatever's going on in the story of the Turtles at the time, like Jennika.
Sure.
Like if you don't know what's going on in the comics, you're like, who the heck is this turtle? Because they don't give you an explanation. She's just part of the team. So I don't know her origin or anything, but she references things that's going on in the comic of like, I guess she had her own spin-off series and she talks about that. She was like, oh, I had my time of being mad because I guess she's an angry character. I don't know.
Yeah.
She has like anger moments in it like Raph does.
Yeah. Well, she was like a rebellious...
I haven't read it, so I don't know. So just be aware, they do reference things that are going on that were going on in the Turtle comics at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So just in case you're like, oh, I want the continuity. And dude, I've been looking up a list of the Turtles continuity, trying to figure out everything. It's a disaster.
Yeah.
It's like you read like 4 issues and then you read the Raphael micro series.
Oh, to read it in order?
Oh, yeah. And then you read like 2 more issues and it's like, okay, now Leonardo and 2 of the bad guy ones and then more issues. And I'm like,
So, when they were coming out, I was actively reading them that way because every Turtles thing that came out, I would read. But then it started being like, okay, so this week I have to buy an issue of the primary series, but also 1 micro series. Okay, no big deal. And then all of a sudden it would be like, there's an issue of the main series, and then there's also like a micro series for a villain, and then there's also a spin-off for April. And I'm like, wait. What do we, or for like Shredder, Shredder had a 3-issue run. So it just kept getting more and more expensive. And I was like, all right, I got at least, I do have I have the Utram run. I have the Secrets of the Foot Clan. I have, I think, all the Villain micro series. I have the 3-issue Rocksteady and Bebop run. Yeah. That is hilarious.
I got to read that.
You need to read that.
And we talked about it. There's 2 of them. There's a second one.
There are 2. That I didn't know about. I have the first run of Jenica, but they did a Jenica 2.
Yep. And then you have the Last Ronin, the later years, and then part 2 or whatever.
Yes, I own the later years, but haven't read it yet.
Yeah. And part 2 is almost done, I think.
Do I have Last Ronin issues 1? Yeah, I did that in issues.
Yeah.
I don't remember, dude. The Turtles and Power Rangers one, I have like very expensive issues.
Yeah, you went crazy with that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was...
You got a cool collection for that, though.
It's all right. Yeah.
So, TMNT versus Street Fighter is great. It's fun. It's very much what kind of crossover you would want from them.
Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. Comic books are cool.
Yes.
And I guess we should wrap it up.
Unfortunately.
There was stuff I wanted to say at the beginning, but I forgot, so I'll do it now. Patreon is updated. So anyone who has been subscribed at the $10 tier, you are now paying $5 a month.
Wow.
We changed things up a little bit. We mentioned it on the last episode a couple weeks ago. I think it was that one. I don't remember. But anyone who is unfamiliar, we have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/thekeepup. We have 2 tiers now. For $1 a month, you get a shout out on the podcast, and you get access to any exclusive stuff that we post on there, old VODs, old playthroughs, like random posts and stuff like that. For $5 a month, you get all that stuff, and you also get our monthly Patreon exclusive podcast, The Keep Up in Cricket City, which is just usually like behind the scenes stuff, us just talking about like whatever's going on in our lives. It's a pretty fun episode. I usually have a lot of fun recording that one.
Yeah.
And you also are going to be able to help curate content because we're going to put up a post once a month, and we used to have a phone number, but nobody was really using it too much, by which I mean only our friend Sarah used it a couple times and nobody else seemed to want to call. Maybe it's intimidating was my thought. So I was here's a way to now write in either recommendations or your own reviews, and we'll pick a couple each month. And then if that gets out of control at one point, I mean, we're going to try to we'll just have a backlog.
Yeah, essentially we'll try to go through just if you throw something in there, we will get to it.
We'll get to it.
Yeah. We'll be keeping up with trying to keep up.
Exactly.
By keeping up.
This is our lifeblood.
Another
not
backlog.
Being kept up. But would love to read some of your reviews. But one of the reasons we made the changes is just to simplify things a little bit over there, still give you guys some value, but now we can move some of our attention over to YouTube, which we're super stoked about because we have a lot of ideas we're going to start working on tonight, actually.
Yeah. Oh.
So wanted to update you guys on that. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. This has been episode number 293. We're rapidly approaching 300. That's going to be a fun one.
It's going to be a good time.
If you are not, you can follow us on all socials at The Keep Up Podcast. That is TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. Tim, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you and your other work?
You guys can find me at Collection Revolution.
Nice, got it out.
I had a little stroke there. It's okay.
Proud of you.
Collection Revolution all over the place. That's on Twitter. That's on TikTok. That's on Twitch.
Yes.
That's on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. It's on your mother's mailbox.
Wow.
I'm all over the place. So check me out there. Brett.
What?
Where can everybody find you?
You can find me at This Drink I Like It on Instagram or TikTok. That is my personal page. I do different stuff on both those platforms. But there's also a link tree on my Instagram that will get you to my music, Animatronic. I have a new single and music video. It's been out just about a month, I think yesterday, actually. And that's been awesome. Thank you to everyone who's been listening to that and watching the new video. I just shot that, a second video that will be out probably in August sometime, which I'm super stoked about. But yeah, you can find all my work on there. And I guess that is it. We're going to wrap up. Tim's going to do what's called End Babble. Tim, your topic is... Shadow the Hedgehog, Guitar Hero. And that's it. Love you guys. Bye.
The Shred. Shadow thinks to himself as he awakes in a cold sweat in his hedgehog bed. I must shred. I must rock. I must roll. And Shadow rises from his hay bed, because I don't think he has a real bed, and he walks over to his television, and he turns it on, and he turns on his Xbox 360, and he puts in his favorite video game, Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock, and he plugs in his Guitar Hero guitar and puts on Through the Fire and the Flames on Expert. And Shadow, being the ultimate life form, the fastest hedgehog alive, can do it. No problem. It happens in slow motion. And when he shreds like lightning, his fingers glide across the buttons. Unknown speed happens within his fingertips because he is also a legend of rock. Shadow the Hedgehog, the Guitar Hero god. So I'll leave you with this. Sometimes in life, you want to just play Guitar Hero. And what better way to enjoy Guitar Hero than with some Sonic music?
Oh my God.
Thank you.